That's the plan. I thought this was really great. I loved the use of color, that everything maybe wasn't quite fully black and white, but it was definitely very, very, very muted. And then you only had like the pops of red, especially, that were very vibrant. And because of the muted color tone for everything else, that stuck out even more, which I thought made the rest of the story kind of also pop. With you had these kind of moments, um and then because of like the extreme contrast, I feel like it helped me pay even more attention. Visually, it captivated my attention a little bit more. And then they brought up a lot of really interesting things for me, of like, in that situation, obviously you're friends with a hitman, you know that he's a hitman, and the line from, where do you draw the line when it comes to, you'd be willing to do anything for your friend, or you want to help them as much as you can, you are obviously willing to stop doing what you're in the middle of doing, you're going to drop everything to go meet this person. So clearly it's somebody, that you think highly of and that you're quite close to. Where do you draw the line from wanting to do everything that you can to help them, and saying no, even though this is what I do all the time, I am a professional hitman, I can't do that, you're a friend. Like, it was just really interesting to me where that kind of, that line comes into play, and how you would kind of like figure out where those boundaries are of, if you had any other job, right, and one of your closest friends came to you and asked you for help with something that was in your wheelhouse, that was like let's say you did taxes, or you were a chef, or you're a baker, or whatever, and someone came to you and was like, hey, I'm having trouble with my accounting, my tax, whatever, I need cooking lessons, or I'm trying to cook a meal, or I want advice on this recipe, or I'm trying to have a cake for this event, like whatever it is, if you had almost any other profession, you wouldn't think twice about jumping in to help them. But because your profession is killing people, obviously you don't want your friend to die. I just thought it was really interesting and I enjoyed it.
What's the plan? Okay, this took so many turns. I didn't know what to expect from this film. The opening is very intriguing, with the guy taking the woman to this place outside, far away from everything, and he kills her. And he gets this phone call from his friend who wants him to kill him because he needs money to look after his family. And you don't know what to expect, and the ending is perfect because the guy kills his friend accidentally, and it's very fun in a very dark way. I think that the film also benefits from strong performances from the three actors, the two guys and the woman. She was very good too. And the visual elements are interesting because everything is like black and white, and then we have this use of red color to intensify things. It's a little bit like Sin City from Rodriguez. So yeah, I like it. I like this film very much. It was very unexpected.
Mafia stories are always great, but this one, where a guy feels desperate enough to ask his buddy to kill him, is a twist because we don't really know what led up to this. But it shows the desperation, and it seems like something happened where he did it. Whether I think he ran over him or something like that, where it happened. So it definitely did look like an accident. The coloring in this, it was really interesting that it was all black and white except for the people and the tail lights. It really gave that film noir look, except for the people. It really added in where it even started with a femme fatale, and then it led into the mafia story. It really had all the little markers where it had the character building, and what really was character driven and focused on these individuals without really knowing any of the backgrounds of these people, but you were still very interested into the story. It was a very well-crafted story because you could tell that it was a bond between these two guys, and it was really a conflict if whether or not they could do what was being asked. Could you take the life of another, even if it's a friend? Because clearly he could. He did it with the girl, but could you take the life of a friend? No matter what it was that led him to this desperate situation. And clearly, yeah, because whatever it was, his family needed life insurance, but it's definitely a conundrum. But it's a very interesting situation. It was a great film for film noir.
This film is called That's the Plan. This is a frightening short. The use of really hard rock around the lead hitman's actions really make it scarier. The choice to film in black and white gives it a cold feel. The storyline is brief yet effective to reveal the lead's evil ways. Excellent pace and direction, and very pointed dialogue. I would love to see more of this story continued into a feature. Great job. That's the Plan. Check it out.